Okay, thank you for joining us. It's Parish and Community. Our guest today is Alex Fajardo. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
It's pronounced Fajardo. The J sounds like an H.
I
So,
always get that wrong. Alex, thank you for joining us today.
sure.
So tell us how you got involved with College Church.
Okay, so 7 years ago is when I moved to St. Louis. So currently I'm still a student, a doctoral student at SLU. And the day I actually moved to St. Louis was August 15th. So it was the Feast of the Ascension. And so first day in St. Louis, I'm like, okay, I got to find mass. And that Catholic guild's like, you have to attend mass today. So I decided to go to College Church. It was my first mass there, and instantly I felt at home. So roughly for a year, I checked out other churches around the St. Louis area, but it just made sense to be at College Church.
That's really cool. What do you think it was about College Church that brought you?
Um, Other than just I actually work in Ritter Hall, so it's like next door in a way. But it just had this feeling of I felt welcome, and in some ways I felt challenged as well, with the message that College Church lives. I think it's a way I could grow in my faith.
Hmm. Excellent. Well, you are also seen around church. Where might people see you taking on some roles and responsibilities?
Okay, so I am one of our 5:15 now 5:30 mass attendees. So I have done a lot in terms of helping out wherever I can, whether it's being an altar server, uh, Eucharistic minister, lector. Right now, I'm helping out with ushering a fair amount, since roles have been shifted in the current state. So you'll see me at the 5:30 mass most of the time. Um, Roughly 4 years ago, I joined our wedding ministry team, and that was originally it was okay. I need a few extra dollars. Having done stuff with the church before, back in Cleveland, I figured, okay, this makes sense. And then, uh, you know, after time progressed, I eventually became one of our wedding coordinators at the parish. So last year, I worked 56 weddings.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it was a lot, huge difference of what's going on
Sure.
this year. But it's just like, okay, here's another wedding, here's another wedding, here are back-to-back weddings, here are back-to-back-to-back weddings, and but it just, but as our, the rest of the wedding team says, it's not just a job, it is a ministry.
Mhm.
Um, I never thought of myself as someone who would help a couple take their final steps to the altar, but it is something important. Help them, start their lives the right way together.
Wow. Yeah. So, what would there be in the realm of fun facts that your fellow parishioners might not know about?
Fun facts. So, we are a Jesuit parish. SLU is a Jesuit university. So, fun fact, SLU is actually my fifth Jesuit university.
Oh, wow.
So, so I've actually gone to Catholic school since kindergarten.
Okay.
But I didn't encounter the Jesuits until undergrad. So I got my bachelor's at Xavier University.
Hmm.
So, and then so that was not that long after 9/11. So the job market wasn't very good, and so I decided, okay, let's go to grad school. Um, and so since I was living in Cleveland with my parents, I decided, okay, John Carroll, they have a program, master's program in mathematics, so I decided to do that. So, but as I was doing that, I found out there's this thing called higher education administration.
Hmm.
They actually have degrees for this. And so I'm like, okay, well, I should finish this degree, but I need, if I want to work a little bit more with college students outside of the classroom, I need to get this other degree. And so immediately after I finished at John Carroll, I went to Boston College.
Oh, wow.
So I got my master's in higher ed administration. I moved back to Cleveland after that. And while I was in Cleveland teaching at the community college, uh, really just, I don't know, just for fun or something, I decided to get my MBA. And I was looking at online programs, and I saw, okay, the University of Scranton is just started an online MBA program, and it has all of the proper accreditation, so let's try this. So I did that, and so that was my third master's degree, my fourth Jesuit university, and then, as I said, 7 years ago, I moved out here to work on a PhD.
That's fantastic. You've really run the gamut of Jesuit institutions.
Yes, and so that's the running joke. Like, okay, so if should I leave SLU at some point? Like, where is he going to end up next? Which Jesuit university? So,
yeah, you're running out.
yeah.
So, what are some moments from your faith journey that have been meaningful to you?
Some moments. So one of them I can point back to my time at Xavier. So it was sophomore year. Second semester, I was struggling with whatever, maybe some identity or whatever, just trying to figure out, okay, who am I? I'm this math major who is serving in the student senate, and so I'm like, where's the balance there? But really, it was just about opening up to people and just being able to serve them. And the thing that really helped me was a retreat called the Approach Retreat at Xavier. So it's their version of Kairos. And after that weekend, a lot of people saw a huge change in me, just how much I was, opening up, how much I was just interacting with people. And I think that was key for me, especially the second half of my time at Xavier, just, being social, being able to put faith into action in a way. Being able to express myself, like, hey, this is my faith, this is important to me, I'm going to use this to help others. Whether it is in something that you expect like campus ministry or something you may not expect as much like in student government.
Yeah, right. So who are some models of the faith for you? Who are the
So I'm thinking about two of our popes. So I think about Pope Saint John Paul II. I just think about he almost died. He was almost assassinated, and I look at the story that follows. He actually visited the person that shot him in jail, and that person, turned his life around in jail. And I think about myself and how I hold these really minuscule grudges against people, and here we have John Paul II, forgiving someone who almost killed him. So just being able to find a way to forgive people for their actions, especially on a lot lower scale.
right?
So that's one thing, one person. The other one is our current Pope, Pope Francis. I think about Pope Francis, and he is a Jesuit, so there's a connection there again. But how he is willing to challenge the perception of tradition in the Catholic Church. So we have a lot of people saying, it's supposed to be this way, and he'll make people think. He's not saying that this is definitely wrong, but he's making people think like, hey, how are you treating these different people around you? Are you treating them as humans? You may not agree with them on everything, whether it's this one issue or another issue, but are you treating them as a fellow human being? And I think that's something we definitely need a lot of that in our world today.
Yeah, true. Alex, thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.